Hey, what's up, everybody? Mike Rashid,
Kim Jones.
Big Rob.
and Floyd is over there in the corner. But all right, so we got some questions, Q&A time. I'll throw the first question to Rob. There's actually one specifically for you. You mentioned Rob was a baseball player. Any tips for off-season and in-season training in the gym for baseball?
When you're in all-season training, you want to kind of stay away from doing a lot of curl exercises. Because when I used to be playing baseball and I do a lot of curl exercises, it was hard for me to throw. So my biceps get too tight. So you kind of want to stay away from that curl exercises, and you want to focus more on power, like box jumps and squatting and different stuff like that. Because in baseball, you use a lot of legs. That's where your power comes from the hips and the legs. All right, so you kind of want to stay around leg exercises and more power exercises.
So if you a hip-having motherfucker, baseball, that's good for you because you got big hips. All right, that's what's up. All right. Do you and Rob have days when you train core? Every training day is a core day. Do I do core training, like targeting the abs direct? No, I don't. I haven't done it in a long time. You build your abdominal wall by heavy compound lifting, overhead presses, standing. You'll never see me doing a shoulder press sitting unless we got the like 120s or better on dumbbells, or I want to go super heavy on military press. But typically I'm standing, squatting, deadlifts, pull-ups, lat pulls. I get a hell of a pump in my abs from lat pulls, stuff like that. What about you, Kim?
Well, it's programmed. I have a coach, and she programs core, so I do at least twice a week isolating core exercises. But like Mike said, if you engage your core, I tell my athletes it's a dynamic core movement. So if you're squatting, if you're sprinting properly, because to be quick, you have to have good posture, and your core's got to be tight. You're engaging your core. If you're jumping, doing plateaus, and you're decelerating properly, you're firing your core in your back and in your stomach. So you're always using it if you do things with the proper mechanics. So, I mean, if you're lean enough, sometimes you don't really need to do the extra type of core exercises. It might be different for bodybuilding because you guys have to be a little more shredded than figure competitors, but
right.
Yeah.
My experience is I have like everybody here on this panel in my apartment, we have all have years of athletics under our belts, like since children. So you're gonna have, if you get lean, you're gonna have abs if you've been in sports all your life. What about you, Rob?
Like Mike said, I really don't train core. Only when I do squats, bench press. That's how I get my core work in. I don't never do sit-ups all day and shit like that.
There's nothing wrong with it. Absolutely, it's still that's working your abdominal wall as well. But I don't do it, and when I'm lean, I have big thick abs. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. To me, I'd rather be doing my big lifts.
Man.
All right. Great question. What questions should we be asking potential trainers?
what questions should you be asking? Number one, you cannot be certified and be very knowledgeable, but I do think that it's like any other profession where you do need that piece of paper to prove that you at least studied and can prove that you know what it takes to be, or you're knowledgeable enough to be a trainer. So I would ask for their certs. I would ask if they're insured, if they have liability insurance. And then I would also ask about their philosophy. It might not jive with yours. Maybe they're more sports performance and you're just an average person trying to do sculpting. Those are two different types of muscle fibers you have to train. So, those are my biggest three, is certification, liability insurance, and then what their philosophy is and if it matches what you're looking for.
Same thing like Kim said. I want to know what certs you have, what qualifications you have to train me as an athlete or bodybuilder or even a sports athlete. So that's my two questions I have. And what can I benefit out of your training? That's what I want to know too.
All right. I'm the same. Certification. Like Kim said, you don't have to have a certification. I know a lot of really good trainers who don't have certifications, but just like having certain degrees in college doesn't mean that you're that intelligent, but it does mean that you can't stick to a curriculum. You start something, you finish it. You know what I mean? But insurance is important. People get hurt. You know what I mean? So insurance is, and it shows that you take your craft serious. Certification and insurance. Outside of that, I'm looking at how they look. You know, you don't have to be in shape to tell somebody how to get in shape, but I prefer when you have a trainer, that's kind of your leader for that hour or however long that is. And my leader has to be legit. I have to look up to my leader. So you have to be in shape. And we talked on this earlier, you have to, this trainer may be, like Kim said earlier, you know, a CrossFit trainer and you're a bodybuilder. It doesn't work. You know, you need somebody who is going to work specifically what your goals are. And it's going to help you get to your goals, not what they think you should do. You know, and the same with nutrition. Look, eating clean does not have to be miserable. Okay, we just had like sauteed kale and shrimp, and mushrooms, delicious, clean. Okay, so when you're doing when someone gives you a nutrition program, don't just take in like, okay, no, let's talk. I really don't like this. And they can substitute. There's so many substitutions for things. So, you know, you want it to be a pleasurable experience, your journey in fitness, because if you get, me personally, my first time prepping for a show, I got burnt out on tilapia to where I can't stand the smell of tilapia anymore, you know. So there are different alternatives to a lot of different protein sources, carb sources, etc. So have that talk. Y'all should talk. Have that conversation.
Also, if I can piggyback on that, I think that if you're paying for a service, you should get the quality service that you're paying for. And if you're not getting the results that you want, you should speak to your trainer about that. Don't pay for 12 weeks and then 8 weeks in, you're not getting results and then re-up again. I mean, you guys need to talk daily. And the same with the nutrition. Make sure that I think some people can kind of hand out cookie cutter type of diets. You should ask questions. Why do you think I should have this many meals? Why are you pairing, you know, these fats or these carbs or these proteins? But I think people who know what they're talking about like to be challenged because then it proves that they know what they're doing and then it kind of gains your trust.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. Ask questions. Write them down. Ask them. You know. All right. Mike, I've been stuck at the same lat pull down weight for 2 months now. I do pull-ups, other back exercises, etc. Should I keep pushing a higher weight even if I max out at 1? Yes. Keep going to that heavy weight. Eventually that weight is going to get easy enough to do 2 and then 3 and so on and so forth. How I typically move up in weight, let's use bench press for example. Say when I was younger, I remember when I got the 3 plates, the 315, so excited, you know, just to get 1. When I got 2, I was like, wow. But every time I would train, I would go up to that. I would try to get, you know, as many reps as I can at that heavy weight. 1, 2. You get stronger and stronger. You keep pushing yourself. So eventually you get 3. It takes time, but I can gauge I have a system of gauging my strength, and I try to move up by plates. Sometimes I have to do a quarter for a little bit, but I personally don't move up by nickels and dimes. It's got to be at least a quarter, and I try to do plates. However, when I'm at that heavy weight, when I'm getting 7 reps of that heavy weight, I know I can get 10. So that gives me a good indication that I can get 1 at a plate heavier, and that's a lot of weight. But I know myself. But just keep pushing at that. Just keep hitting that weight, or start at don't start at where you normally start at. Start a little 1 pin higher, heavier, and you know, try to progress like that. Because if you do a whole bunch of sets warming up to that heavy rep, you might be burnt out by the time you get to that heavy rep. So just shorten it out a little bit. What do you think?
I would say maybe, I know with my athletes, we'll do, if we go through a strength phase, we're not even working at 90%, 95%. We might do 5 sets of 5 at 75%. So it might be worth it to bring the weight down and work on hitting, I guess, more reps with less weight, and then gradually, like Mike said, start to progress higher. And potentially you could also kind of make some gains that way too. But also, sometimes you got to take a break from exercises, I think. If you've been really sticking to this one exercise, maybe take a week or two off from that exercise, do other back building exercises, and then go back to it and reintroduce the body to it, and you might see some gains that way too.
Maybe if you even try like doing some heavy pull-ups,
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, so weighted pull-ups might help with that too. You know, so try that.
Mickey Mouse. I just noticed that. All right, let's see. Oh, this is a question for Kim. And I shoot women questions to a woman because who knows a woman's body better than a woman? All right, what supplements would you suggest for a woman? Tips for someone with no. Oh, yeah, that's one. What supplements would you suggest for a woman?
Gosh, I think
IX3.
Pre-workout IX3, definitely fish oil. It's good for inflammation. I have arthritis in my knee, and I swear by fish oils to help my inflammation. And then also there's cognitive benefits to fish oils too, so that's always good. I would say calcium is good for bone density, vitamin D for strong nails and hair and things, skin, things like that, and any kind of amino acid at night. I do L-glutamine at night, so if you're lifting pretty regularly, that's when most of your recovery happens, when you sleep. So do some sort of amino acid or branched-chain amino acid or L-glutamine at night before you go to sleep. I don't really think there's much difference between what men and women should take. It's just about kind of taking care of your body. And if you're not getting those vitamins from food, then definitely supplement them. That'd be my advice.
That's it. All right, so that's it for part 1. We will answer more questions in part 2. All right.